Welcome to Animals Matter. I'm Susan Kennedy. I'm here at the Germantown Town Center Park with my service dog in training, Stacy. In this show, we explore stories about pets, their caregivers, wild animals, farm animals, and more. Our first story in this show is about rabies. Rabies is a virus that's transmitted by the saliva of an infected animal, but it is 100% preventable. Did you know here in Montgomery County we offer free rabies clinics from the months of May to September? Here's Mike Springer with the story.
The Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center is located in Durwood. Once a month, April through September, it hosts free rabies clinics.
We're having our free rabies clinic. We have them April to September every year, and it's the third Sunday of the month, and it's from 8 to 10:30. So you get a free rabies vaccination and you license your pet, and we also are selling microchips. When you get your rabies vaccination, that's required to get your animal licensed. The license represents that you're vaccinated. So it's a beautiful thing. It also helps identify the pets, so if they do get lost, we can get them back to their owners.
This is our second trip here. I think 3 years ago he came out and had his rabies shot at the old facility, and we got the notice that it was coming up, and so here comes Sullivan to get his shot. What a wonderful spot we have in Montgomery County for this facility. This is over the top, more than I expected. I mean, the old facility was a great spot, but this is ridiculous. This is wonderful.
All my paperwork. I called the hotline, and that's how I found out that it was being given today. Muffin, you're okay, Muff. Thank you.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Exit around to the left.
All dogs and cats are required to have a rabies vaccination once they're over 4 months of age.
So if your animals are vaccinated and they get bitten by a rabid animal, or they get bitten by an animal that we don't know, they come in with a bite of an unknown origin, we can quarantine the animal. If it's been vaccinated for rabies, it's probably not going to get sick. The quarantine is just precautionary.
One of our good friends is a volunteer at the clinic, and so we just got 2 new kittens, and she had informed us about this morning, so my wife sent me here. That's Phoebe in there and Joey in the back. Hey, Phoebe.
Keep your dog on leash, keep your cat in a carrier, something like that, so they're controlled, so we don't have any issues between, inter-dog episodes or anything. To keep everybody's stress levels low. Be patient. There's a lot of people in line who need to get through, and we'll work you through as quickly as we can.
We put water out for the animals, but it wouldn't hurt if you bring some for your pet too. It can be a long wait, but just bring your patience and, enjoy the experience.
If your dog is particularly not friendly with other dogs or gets upset around other dogs, let us know, and we will make arrangements to keep them away and get you taken care of so we don't have any issues.
So we also offer our facility to the city of Gaithersburg and the city of Rockville. So those people who live in those areas have to license separately. So they have to go to those booths, which are set up out front in the parking lot. If you know what jurisdiction you're in and licensed in or should be licensed in, it's easier for you to know where to line up.
Failure to have a rabies vaccination, or as our law reads, failure to provide proof of a current rabies vaccination, can result in a $500 fine. If they are a repeat offender, a second offense is $750.
Is that the chip? Or
That was the microchip.
Microchipping is a wonderful thing, and we are selling them for $10 today and at all of our clinics. If you go to the vet or another entity to get a microchip, it's a lot more money. Microchip is a little tiny little pin that's inserted in the nape of on the back of their neck. They don't even feel it. It's a 16-digit number that pops up, and then it's associated with the pet owner. So it gives us their name, address, phone number, everything we need to know.
Especially in a shelter situation, what we veterinarians and staff see all the time are animals coming in, and we don't know where those animals came from. We want the microchip there so that we can scan it when they enter as lost dogs and cats and get them back to their owners.
So you see our vans all over the county. So if our officers pick up your animal, they carry the scanners in their van. So they'll scan the animal. If it has a microchip, they'll bring it right to your house. And if you're home, here's your dog or cat. If not, then they bring it to the shelter and then we call you. But when your animal's brought to the shelter, there are fees associated because there's an impound fee, there's a field service fee, there's a board fee, and then there's an at-large fee, which is $100. But we also have the Animal Welfare League here talking about their reduced spay-neuter program to people who need those services.
For more information about the rabies clinics, go to montgomerycountymd.gov/animal services or call 240-773-5900.
Did you ever wonder what you should do if you come across an orphaned or injured wild animal? Well, there is a place here in Montgomery County that offers these animals recovery and rehabilitation. It's the Second Chance Wildlife Center in Gaithersburg. Here's Mike Springerth with more.
Second Chance Wildlife Center has been caring for the county's wildlife at this location since 1996.
Second Chance Wildlife Center is one of Maryland's oldest and largest wildlife rehabilitation clinics. And for the past 20 years, we have been taking in injured, orphaned, and ill wild animals.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
Fixing them up, doing whatever we can to get them back on their feet or on their wings or on their shell or whatever they have, and get them back to the wild.
Let me take this back, and then I just need you to fill out some paperwork.
It's a community resource for people in the public that come across an animal in distress and don't just want to walk away, but...
Let me take this guy back.
What do they have there?
Rabbit.
It's not easy. It takes a lot of special expertise.
It was laying on the street. Like I'm saying, we're trying to put it back on the, on the bush where we saw the mom was there. And, but mom never came back.
Rabbits are very high stress animals.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
So they can go into shock very easily. So we usually give them a little bit of time to calm down before we do a full examination.
The center welcomes about 3,000 animals each year.
But we take in slightly more birds than we take in mammals. I think it's 51% of our patients are birds, 49% are mammals, but birds can be anything, from ducks to geese to hawks to owls to songbirds to just anything.
The Wildlife Center is located on the old Carson Farm in Gaithersburg. It was deeded to the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, which now rents the facility to the center. Second Chance is open 365 days a year from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and its services are free.
We're small. We're 5 year-round. We gear up in the summer to 7, which is, we're incredibly busy. For an organization that does 3,000 animals a year, all of which come in with some kind of medical problem or unable because they're too young to care for themselves.
A 6-star lane.
It's a lot of work for 7 people, but my people work really hard. But we have about 70 volunteers that help us, including a volunteer vet, and people in the community are terribly generous, both with their funding and getting us paper towels and newspapers and all kinds of stuff that we need. So we have wonderful community support. For every animal we help by admitting them as a patient to the center, we help as many animals simply over the telephone.
Second Chance Wildlife Center. It would be acting very panicked. It would be like basically throwing a temper tantrum.
We got a baby bunny, which our cat got last night. It's just partly hurt from the back, behind its back leg here, but we thought it was appropriate to bring it here. Just give it a chance to survive.
Once you turn an animal in, it's ours. We're not a vet clinic like you fix it up and give it back. We take full care of the animal. And releasing animals is tricky. Every species has different needs. And so some animals you can just walk out here and let them go, like birds. They'll fly their way anywhere in the planet. They can get around no problem. But other animals you have to be very exacting as to where they go, and you have to have scoped out the territory beforehand, make sure that it's the right kind of place for them, etc., etc.
It's a constant challenge for the animals to coexist with humans.
The lawnmowers, the roads, the chainsaws, the plate glass windows, all of that has turned this environment into a lethal obstacle course for animals who struggle every day to survive, with our cats in the yard and our dogs in the yard. And these are all then become major, potentially dangerous things for these animals. And we're pleased to be here to, as the name says, give them a second chance.
For more information about Second Chance Wildlife Center, go to scwc.org or call 301-926-WILD.
Did you know that Americans spend more than $6 billion annually on services for their pets like grooming and boarding? It's a big business. In this next story, we'll meet a Bethesda woman who has capitalized on that trend, and it's a place where the customer is always top dog. Izzy the Cocker Spaniel is getting her usual treatment at Bonjour. She is one of the dozens of dogs who come for a day of pampering at the Bethesda Grooming Salon. Bonjour has been in business in Bethesda since 1991. Becky Pugh is the owner.
A lot of grandmama, a lot of dog grandmas spent a lot of money.
Really? She started in the dog party business in Georgetown, then shifted to grooming when she reluctantly came to Bethesda at the suggestion of a friend.
I used to thought of Bethesda as a place where you went to look for rugs or get your car fixed, and he goes, no, you really should think about bringing your shop. I'm like, but there's nothing there. And so I did, because it was right during the recession in the end of the 80s, and I was like, oh, what have I done? But I cut my expenses in half, coming from Georgetown, and all of a sudden, within like 2 years, couples who had been married in Georgetown were moving this way, to have their families, and it started picking up. You can just try it on her.
Okay, that's a good size though, right?
I think so.
Pugh has carved her niche in the Bethesda business community. She has hundreds of regular customers, like Izzy, a third-generation client of a customer who's been coming to Bonjour for more than 20 years.
Oh, you look so cute. She loves it here. She never has a problem coming in here.
It's nice to transform one. Like you see one that comes in and it's matted and tangled, and they go out fluffy and nice, and it feels good, to have done something good for a dog.
As is the case for so many small businesses, customer service has been the key to Pugh's success. She makes special accommodations for seniors who have challenges with transportation and makes sure each dog who visits the salon has a record of health issues or any other information that might affect its visit to Bonjour.
That's how I started, was making cookies.
Pugh wants to make sure every dog has its day.
Are these like specialty made to not be bad for the dogs?
Right. The icing is made with yogurt.
Okay.
So it has a little bit of a sweetness to it, not much. It used to be kind of silly, the idea of dog grooming, 40 years ago, but now it's not just a poodle thing anymore. Standard grooming is your usual, bath, nails, clean the ears, clean out the pads, all that. Teeth is it is extra. It's $10 extra to have the teeth done. We don't do an exam, but we do brush.
The growth in Bethesda has been a good thing for Bonjour. Pugh says the construction of dog-friendly apartments throughout town has resulted in several new customers and a community that's gone to the dogs.
It's been kind of a wonderful thing. With all the development has come dogs with dog owners. It used to be in Bethesda, you could not have a dog in an apartment. It was under 15, it had to be at 15 pounds and smaller. Now they have dog stations for grooming. I did a dog bubble bath party at Upstairs Bethesda for them to kind of highlight, their amenity. So it's changed a lot. All of a sudden, it used to be, dogs, no on the lease, and now it's like, bring 4, bring 5.
And Pugh works like a dog to keep her business at the top of its game. She doesn't worry too much about competition from big box pet retailers because the services and extras she offers keeps her customers coming back. Her employees share her love of dogs and commitment to giving top-notch customer service. Anyone can wash a dog, she says, but it's all about the personal touch. But as long as the tails keep wagging and the customers keep smiling,
looks pretty good.
Bonjour will be sticking around to keep county dogs fresh and fluffy.
Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye, Derby.